So I welcome everyone, those who are joining for the first time, and it's Good Samaritan Science online class. And I was telling you that we are going to do chapter 5, separation of substances. Yesterday we did certain topics which I will show you here, and just try to figure out what you studied yesterday. Okay. I think some students, they are having problem. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen, all of you? Are you able to see the screen, students?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Some students' voice is breaking. So after you speak, you have to quickly put in mute. Huh? Yeah. So this is the thing we studied. Just a minute. Yeah. We studied all these topics, isn't it? We studied what is hand picking. Yeah. And you can see here. Okay. Please don't unmute it. So yesterday we were studying about all these topics, and you can see what is hand picking. You all know that some particles are large enough to be seen clearly, and examples are we separate pebbles from rice or dal, and separating grass from mint leaves, and separating parts of salad. So did you all write this answer? Yes? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Don't speak again and again. So there is having network issue. So here you can see we are having first topic was hand picking, and the second one is threshing. Yes. So this is also, you read it. So in this you can see that this particular man is beating the stalk on the rock, and all the grains are seen over there, and some machines can also be used for threshing purposes. Okay, so this also you read it. This process is called winnowing. So you have to see the direction of the air. Without air, winnowing process is not possible. And you take a soup, and you just shake it in the direction of the air, and the lighter particles, they will blown away far, that is husk, and the heavier particles, that is the grains, they will fall below the the place where you can see. So they will not be blown away or carried away by the wind, because they are heavier in weight. Am I clear? So this also you read it. And you read about sieving. In sieving, two particles will be there. One will be very finally powdered, and the other one will be little bigger in size. That means the one will be minute particles. For example, when you talk about atta flour, so atta flour is minute, it's very minute. The mixture is so, it is of fine materials that it can easily pass through this sieve, isn't it? And all those bigger size particles, they will be left over in this sieve. And here you can see the man is separating pebbles and stones and the sand. The sand is, minute particles as compared to pebbles and stones. So that is why the sand will, go down, or it will sieve through the siever, this particular instrument, down, and the pebbles and stones, they will remain over there because they are larger in size. Okay. Now, next topic today we are going to start. So this is solution. This is about solutions. So about solution also, I have already told you in videos. But you can see a solution is a mixture in which a substance is dissolved. So the substance is spread out evenly and will not settle. So if you dissolve any one substance, what it will happen? It will, mix in the particular solution and it will not settle down. For example, if you take sand and you try to dissolve in the water, it will settle down. It will not mix it. So in a solution, everything should be completely dissolved. So you remember about soluble substance and non-soluble substance, insoluble substances. So soluble substances, all the things will be dissolved and no thing will settle down. So you can see here in a solution, the substance that dissolve is called solute. For example, if this is a salt and you are going to add in the water, then the salt is called as the solute. Am I clear? So these two terms you have to learn, what is solute, and another term you have to learn what is solvent. Am I clear? So you can see solute is anything which you are going to add in a solvent, any liquid. So that is solute. It is generally solid in texture. What is solvent? Solvent is a substance in which solute is being dissolved. So water is called the universal solvent. What is meant by universal solvent? Universal solvent means the thing which will allow everything to get dissolved in it. So universal means it will allow everything. Most of the solute will be dissolved in the solvent. So that is why it is called universal. It will dissolve everything and most of the things. So that is why it is called universal. Okay, so next we have just a minute. Next we are having solution. So just now I was explaining you what is meant by solution. So can you see this? This I explained you in your video. So you can see over here, a solution is a mixture formed when one or more solutes dissolve in a solvent. So very clearly I will tell you, see, water is a solvent in which we are going to add certain solute, example sugar. So water is a solvent and sugar is a solute. Did you understand? Any liquid in which we are going to add something, so that is called solute. Okay, so I will tell you one more thing now. Yes, somebody wants to write? Those who want to write, you can write now. Wait a minute. So I will okay, so you can see here, now you have got new solution that is called sugar solution, and that will be called solution. That means a solution means a solution. All of you listen carefully. A solution means a solute dissolved in a solvent. Okay, so all of you can write in your notebook, solute plus solvent gives solution. I repeat, solute plus solution solvent gives or you can put arrow solution. Am I clear? This is very important so that you can understand. Now let's see the another screen. Yeah, are you able to see this now? Yeah, Next.
Ma'am.
Okay. There's a lot of disturbance. So here you can see there is next topic is sedimentation and decantation. So you remember yesterday you wrote this particular definition. So what is sedimentation and decantation? So let us read, all of you. Let us read. A mixture of sand and water is taken in a beaker. So what are we taking? We are taking sand and water. So is sand soluble in the water? No. Okay. So we take in a beaker and we allow to stand for some time. Stand for some time means we will mix the particular mixture and we will leave for some time. The sand being heavier than water and insoluble, this is very important, insoluble in water, settles at the bottom of the beaker, and this settling down of particles in lower part of the container is called sedimentation. That means what are we doing? Just listen carefully. This activity you are going to do at home. So what are you going to do? You will take some insoluble substances, like you will be taking sand. Okay, you can take sand, you can take some pebbles or some fine particles which are not soluble in water. So this activity you're going to do it again. So this chapter is also full of activity, but many activities we have to do in the laboratory and many activities it is possible to do at home. So we will take any container. So beaker, you can take any bowl or any glass, and you will take water and you will take sand or anything which will, not dissolve in the water. Am I clear? Now you will mix it and you leave it for half an hour, 1 hour or 2 hours and do other homework, and you eat it, you play, watch television, and after 2-3 hours you come and see that what happens. Okay. So what you will see that sand will be settling down, in a glass or in your bowl. So why it is happening? Because sand is insoluble, and second thing, sand is heavier than water. The weight is heavy. That is why it will settle down in the water. So this is called sedimentation. Sedimentation means settling down of heavy and insoluble substance at the bottom. Am I clear? Everyone understood? So this activity you are going to do at home. Second one is decantation. What is decantation? Now
we have to make a video and send it to your number.
yes, you have to do, you have to make a video and you have to send it to me. Okay. Now, yes, very good. So now you have to do with the same activity. You will be continuing it. How you will continue it? After you see that the sand has been settled down, or the insoluble substance has come down. So what you are going to do? You will take another beaker. So you can take another glass, another transparent glass. And transparent glass, why I'm saying you? So you don't take steel glass, because if it is settling down, we will not be able to observe it. So if you are having a transparent glass or transparent bowl, you try to do in that, because we will be able to see it. But if you are not having transparent glass, you try doing in steel glass and you can observe on your own. But if you do in a transparent glass, the results will be shown or visible to everyone when you are putting it as a video. Okay. So after you see that it has settled down, what you're going to do, you'll be taking another glass or another bowl. Here we are talking about beaker, and you will put a glass rod. So you will, what it is, glass rod in a slanting position. So at home you will not be having glass rod. So you can take a spoon and you will put in a slanting position. Okay. And now what you will do, you will take this particular beaker, and this is the first beaker, and pour the water gently on a glass rod. So what you are going to do it, you are going to take this beaker and you will hold like this, and you will slowly try to pour the uppermost solution to the another beaker or another glass or another bowl. Okay. So many times you need not do with the spoon, but when you take glass rod, so it will help you to understand that it is going through without you will check that you are not passing all the impurities also. So this is called the transfer of the clear water is called the decantation. Okay, the transfer of the clear water is called decantation. This is your sedimentation. Now this is, you can see here, can you see this diagram? So this is your decantation, where you are pouring out the clear liquid, and this is your clear liquid, and here will be the undissolved solid. So what is that? The process of obtaining clear liquid by pouring a solution from a container in order to leave the sediments. So you don't want the sediments now, and in the bottom of the original container, and that will be called as sedimentation. Okay, sorry, this is called decantation. So you can see here, this is called as supernatant. What is supernatant? Supernatant means the clear liquid which is above the sediments, and the sediments will be here. You understand? The clear liquid is called supernatant, and the insoluble thing which is settling down here, that will be called as sediments. Okay, so this was about decantation and sedimentation. So this particular diagram and definition you wrote in the copy, isn't it? So I'm not going to explain it. Here we are just having examples like obtaining clear water from muddy water. So is it possible to separate clear water from the muddy water? Yes, it is somewhat possible. Not exactly possible that you can drink it, but you can do it at some process, at some extent. So you will take the muddy water and you will allow it to stand for some time, and it will sediment, and then you can pour the clear water into another one, and the another term for sediment is called it is called as the precipitate. But the main precaution is you should not disturb when you are doing this activity. So when the sand is getting settled down, so you don't go, acha, what is happening? You just try to shake the tumbler, you try to shake the glass. No, don't do all that stuff. फिर आपका सारा मेहनत पानी में गया, फिर से आपको दोबारा से करना पड़ेगा. Okay, so don't try to disturb that particular beaker or glass. So, and when you are trying to pour the clear water, you try to do away with your younger brothers and sisters. So, hey, bhai kya kar raha hai? Appi kya kar rahe ho? Bhaiya kya kar rahe ho? Didi kya kar rahe ho? So they will just try to shake you, और सारा जो है मिल जाएगा. So you should not be allowing them to disturb. You have to pour the water clearly in the next container. Now next topic is filtration. So after we do, first step is sedimentation, where the sediment will settle down, or the insoluble material will settle down here. And in decantation, you are pouring out the clear water. Now don't think that you can drink this clear water. Another process is called filtration. We will take this particular water that is still impure, and we will try to put funnel, we will try to put filter paper, and we will pour it through funnel, and there will be filter paper, and now we will get the another part of solution. So I will tell you how we are going to do it. So what is filtration over here? You just read it. The process of using filter to separate an insoluble solid and a liquid is called filtration. So you can see here, we have put filter paper, and in filter paper, there are small holes. They are called pores. And with that pores, the liquid will go down over here, and this particular sand particles, which, still sand particles or small impurities are there, so we can remove it. So now you can see how we are going to prepare filter paper. So at home you have to do this. Okay, at home you have to do this and send it to me, the video. You will take a round sheet of paper, because at home you don't have filter paper, so we are having in the laboratory. So you're going to do it at, yes, tell me.
Ma'am, cloth has also some small pores. Ma'am, can we use cloth?
Yes, you can use that cloth. But when you are making this filter paper, the making of filter paper will be clearly and easily shown in the paper, because you are able to easily fold it. But if you take cloth, it will go here and there, isn't it? So you can take, for showing it, for demonstrating it, you take one paper and you say that I will cut into round shape, and then you fold into twice, and there will be another part. I will be showing you another one, and you will be doing making it as a cone. Okay, so now you can see when you make it, so you don't have this particular thing at home. So if you are having anything which you will be able to pour the oil and all, so this kind of funnel some people will be having at home, but many of you will not have at home. So in our laboratory, this will be made up of glass, this funnel, but at home many people will be having plastic funnel. So you can put that filter paper inside this funnel. So you can see here, you have taken that beaker in which you have taken the decant solution. Okay, first you did sedimentation process, second one decantation. That particular solution you will take it, and after you make filter paper, you will take funnel, and in the funnel you're going to fix the filter paper, and you will slowly pour the solution above it, and you will not do very fast, you will do very slowly. And after you pour everything, you just sit and relax, you go for watching TV or do your another work, and you will see that slowly this particular filtration process will occur. Okay, so you can see here, first step, you are going to take round paper, and then you are going to fold it. Second step, and third step, you will fold another fold. Okay, in the first slide it was not showing. So there are 4 steps. First step, then second step, then third step, and then finally you are making it into a cone. Okay, and now you will take any funnel. If you don't have funnel, you try to hold it in your hand or anything which you are having at home, or you can make a funnel by any other thicker paper also. You can make it like a little thick sheet or thick cover of your copy, that can also act as a funnel. You can make it, staple it, and you can make a funnel, and then you put this paper and you try to filter, and then you obtain the filtrate and the clear water. And second part is condensation. Condensation is, I have not taught you, but I will just show you the diagram. So you have seen when you are cooking food, so suppose if you're boiling the water and you put a lid, so what do you see on the lid? You can see small droplets of water, isn't it? So after some time, that small droplets of water, it will also mix in the water. So you can see here, if you see this kettle, it will have water vapor coming out from this. देखा है आप लोगों ने कभी? भाप निकलता है, water vapor. So if you take one particular, another lid, and you put ice cubes, or even if you don't put ice cubes, but if you want good results, you can take ice cubes, and you can take one container lid, and when this water vapor will strike, with this particular container, and what you can see, you will see small droplets of water, and they can be collected in another beaker. So this is called as condensation. So condensation means, conversion of water vapor, that is gas, conversion of gas into liquid. So you all know about evaporation. So evaporation means what happens? Liquid is changing into gas. जैसे आपने कपड़ा सुखाया, कपड़े में आपने देखा होगा पानी रहता है, लेकिन कपड़ा कैसे सूख जाता है? बिकॉज उसका जो भी पानी है वो भाप बन जाता है. So that particular water is evaporated into gas. That's how your clothes are getting dried. So that is evaporation. This is condensation, where opposite is happening. Gas is changing into water. So this is not possible by your own. So you can see your mother doing all these things. और जैसे पानी वानी गरम करते हो तो आप देख सकते हो, ठीक है? Now very important is condensation, evaporation. So just now I was telling you what is evaporation. When you dry your clothes, so your clothes are getting dry because water is coming out from your clothes, and they are changing into gas. Now let us see the example of evaporation. So you know how salt is prepared, how salt is obtained. So you can see this beautiful example where this people, what are they doing? They are making these pits. वो लोग गड्ढे ऐसे खोदते हैं. They are making shallow pits, not very डीप पिट्स, बहुत गहरे गड्ढे नहीं खोलते हैं, शैलो पिट्स। शैलो पिट्स मतलब इजीली यू कैन